Hi Pisces, this is Cindy with Quantum Kaleidoscope. Welcome. I'm going to do a 6 card spread on Jupiter direct. So Jupiter has been going direct for the last week and weekish. And so you actually probably been starting to see things speed up a little bit more. It's actually kind of nice that I'm probably doing this reading a little bit later than some of the other signs. Though you're the first of my second batch. Mostly because I just did Aquarius last, so Pisces, Anyways, um, so I'm just gonna go straight to it. I did do a little pick a card reading and a bit of like an astrology briefing on Jupiter last week or so. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. But I'll probably talk about Jupiter throughout this reading as well because ultimately Jupiter is the, you know, bringer of gifts. If you've done your hard work, you've done your lessons, and Jupiter pushes us outside of our comfort zone. And then, with you being Pisces, or, regardless if you're like, drawn to watch it, still might resonate that like it could be resonating with your 11th house. Again, it may not, depending on again your personal chart, but the 11th house is all about, you know, um, you know, connections and networks and social networks and internet and um like it's that Aquarian energy. um and it's like the revolutionary kind of thing. So again, so with Jupiter being in Capricorn, which is likely in your 11th house. Wait, yes. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why I like spaced out on that for a second there. Okay. So with it being the 11th house, like, okay. And with it being in Capricorn, it's like that restriction, it's like maybe it's a bit about your boundaries. It's like, have people been pushing your boundaries? Like, have you had to assert your boundaries more so? Like maybe if you found that when you haven't been, or if you haven't been, that like some of the same lessons are going to be repeating or probably have been repeating during the retrograde. Okay, but if you've been learning your lessons, okay, and putting it into action, whatever it has to do with when it comes to connections and networks and community groups and advocacy and revolutionary and ideas and thoughts, anything that kind of like Aquarian stands for, okay? But again, within Capricorn, so again, that structure, restriction, boundaries, you know. So, anyways, well, let's see how it's been going into your spread. I don't know if that's been making sense. I feel like I've been. So, I tend to kind of channel the energy of what's been going on. And so sometimes when I feel like I'm struggling, that might be maybe you've been struggling with your boundaries, maybe you're struggling with your words, maybe like, anyways, I won't say guess, but I'm gonna just read the cards, okay? So what can we tell Pisces today that can help them stay in highest vibration and on their truest path, okay, between now and, while Jupiter finishes Capricorn. It's like, what lessons were they learning and repeating or whatever during the retrograde? Okay, it's probably been about something but decisions. Okay, Nine of Pentacles, so it could be about decision about going alone or maybe feeling alone, especially if it's about maybe about friendship too, or networks or something like that. But what can we tell Pisces? I'm not sure why your cards are taking so long. Oh, that's interesting. I just tried to shuffle and it didn't go. So maybe you're ready, but you don't know that you're ready, or you don't think that you're ready, or maybe it's about, you know, moving forward even when you think you're not ready. Okay, we have here 4 of Wands. Now it's in the middle of the deck, so I'm just cutting still. So I mean, 4 of Wands is that, like, you know, it can be vacation, it can be celebrations, it can be an event. Did I say vacation? It can be a break, it can be about balancing, it can be, oh, well, I don't no longer have it here because, right, it was in the middle. Okay, but we have the strength here. Okay, so strength is, okay, sometimes it's the, one of the more easier cards, energies to understand. It is strength. But the nuances with this is that, okay, if you look at it, you have a woman, she's pretty delicate, like, and like, how she's dressed, and, like, or I mean, at least it's representing that, or the femininity or something like that, right? And, I guess it is kind of like that feminine, but then you have that, like, wild side, that beast side. This is Leo energy. That is that, like, fire, that passion too. This is in, some decks, this is known as that passion, but and sometimes some parts it's about taming the beast, but if you think about it here, like, she has to have, this again, inner and outer strength. She has to be confident. She has to be, soft in order to get close to the lion, because the lion can, like, just turn and, bite or whatever. But it looks like she's made friends with the lion, so, like, have you been making friends with, the beast within? Or is it just about pure strength, gaining the strength, but this is kind of what's, like, been underneath. We'll see how it plays out. Okay. Accidents are not necessarily accidents when it comes to tarot readings, right? I mean, I feel so jumbled right now, and some reason that made me think of a jungle, king of the jungle, I don't know, but I don't normally put down, like, I have, but, like, underneath there we have the King of Swords, right? So that is air energy. It can be, but, like, it's like having that strength after knowing some kind of truth that is just, the King of Swords, he is the, master of the energy, again, regardless of gender, he's the master of the energy that he represents. So thought, communication, air, he would be that Aquarius energy, right? So let's say if this is about, okay, like, communication, like, in the broad sense of communications, like broadcasting, or, like, things like YouTube or whatever the case is, it's about, like, having that, strength too, either to persevere or, but with it being under the deck is, like, there is that truth that has given you the strength to move forward in whatever it is, or strength, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so kind of like the theme is the Two of Swords. Okay, so I think there's been, okay, so it's the Two of Swords is about, indecision, sort of. Like, I mean, it is also, like, on the more positive side. Again, I don't want to necessarily judge it as positive or negative kind of thing, but on, like, one end of the spectrum, it is, well, I mean, it's just the same way of rewording it the same way. Anyways, okay, so this is about, like, being between two worlds, being between two minds. In some sense, this is a bit of about peace, kind of being like, okay, if you've been having, like, strength, or trying to get strength after some kind of truth, some kind of just truth that either has come into you or you realize, for example, this can represent, throughout the retrograde, you've been kind of thinking about this truth, gaining your strength. Okay, if you look at this, right? So I haven't actually looked at this one specifically. Because I mean, they're all kind of the same, especially with the Two of Swords, okay? Um, but yeah, so it may not be that clear, but there is water. Okay, so this is, this does represent, like, even though this is air energy and thoughts and communication with the water here, this can be, this is like, maybe being like flooded with your emotions, because of the emotions, the thoughts. But this is also about rising above the emotions and having, using your mind, but again, you can't stay there forever, like she's balancing on some type of like stone bridge or something like that, right? It's blinded, the clouds are behind, but I mean, the clouds are still kind of going away, right? Because I mean, this is kind of does represent, like getting that clarity, getting that peace of mind, balancing those thoughts as well. Let's keep going. The events that have been happening is Five of Cups. So Five of Cups is about a loss, you know. Okay, so I'd say that altogether, this has been about gaining your strength over some type of an emotional loss, okay, while balancing your mind. But I think it's been, okay, once you're in this Five of Cups energy, right, it is suggesting that, like it's the like crying over spilt milk kind of thing. It kind of looks like crying over spilt blood. But either way, it's not noticing that there is an opportunity behind. Though this card though does actually show that it's like, okay, with all fives, there change. Okay, so this does represent that emotional change. So I do think that it's been a process of getting the strength after some kind of loss. Okay, that's been kind of making you kind of decide, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? But with this Five of Cups, I think like rather than, a lot of times it is kind of like wallowing. It is kind of like, crying over spilled milk and things like that, right? But this one, I'm noticing that he is noticing this Two of Cups. Yeah, I just was double checking that there was three down here because it kind of looked like there was, but that's just the ground. Oh my God, why am I struggling with this so much? Okay, like do you keep going back and forth, struggling with words? I don't know, but I think you're noticing this opportunity, okay? Because I mean, a lot of this is about like, okay, kind of picking up the pieces, and then taking the journey, okay, up to this like high vibration, in this case, it's a castle here too. Okay, so this high vibration castle, and it's about changing, changing. Man, I'm struggling with this reading. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I'm gonna like well, I don't know, I have this whole thing about like not stopping the message. Like for example, if I come across like a tarot reading or something like that, and sometimes I'm just guided to share it with someone. I may not even like, I don't even know what it's about kind of thing. And I just be like, oh, okay, I'm guided to share this to you. Hey, check this out. You're Aquarius, whatever kind of thing, right? And, but like, I mean, if anytime I stop myself from doing that, like, I'm just like, damn it. Like, what if I got in the way of the message that is supposed to be said? And I wouldn't want to do that. Kind of thing. Like for what? Like for my ego, my pride, like I'm embarrassed that I thought of them enough to be like, here's a reading. Like I'm not too sure. I learned. I don't know. Anyways, So who knows? Maybe everyone's already cut off at this point. Maybe I'll cut them off, or maybe this actually makes some sense. Who knows what I'll say? I'll probably record this again. Oh my goodness. Okay. You in the situation. It's the King of Pentacles. Damn right. Things are changing. You've been going through this state of indecision, but not. Like, I think it's been about balancing the minds, balancing thought, coming out of this indecision, okay? Coming out of this sadness, like whatever's happening, okay? And you're feeling great. If you're not feeling great yet, you're gonna feel great. Or you're about, like, I mean, with Jupiter going direct and as it goes, like, I mean, with this direct turn, you know, you're going to be seeing signs. You're going to be seeing signs that what you've been trying to build is building. Okay, it is expanding. You know, you might like, okay, the King of Pentacles, again, he's the king of like the energy he represents. Like, so this is money. This is, you know, time. This is, you know, you know, like he works with the earth, you know, so I mean, this is really feeling like in your abundance, okay, in your spiritual, like your like higher self, like your message to your higher self, what you're, you know, being told is the Tower. Okay, so you know that something needs to change. Maybe you haven't quite gotten this strength yet, but you know, or you're being told, you know, like divinely guided to shake things up, you know. I'm actually gonna no, I'm not gonna clarify because I've already like shuffled kind of thing. Okay, but let's hopefully see what else comes. So what we have is your friends, your family, your coworkers. What's around you is the Five of Wands. Okay, so we have another five. So about change. Okay, so there seems like there's been a lot of conflict. And, you know, maybe that's why there's been a lot of sadness. Maybe there's been a regret, some regret. Um, you know, worry. But at the same time, like you're with the King of Pentacles, it's like you're getting a point where you're feeling better. Like maybe you need to create this tower. Like, not that it makes it any easier per se, but I mean, at least you can control it, you know, to an extent. You can't obviously control anyone's reactions. So this is about, so I'm going to talk about the Five of Wands a little bit. Okay, so if this is like coworkers, so like maybe for example you need to let somebody go, like fire somebody for example, with the Tower and the loss, like maybe, you know, there's some kind of like loss that someone caused, like a mistake maybe, okay, that you need to be a boss about and, you know, cause that change. Or maybe it's about, you know, there's been too much fighting. Like this is more about, like, more than harsh words. This is more about people not being on the same page. You know, like, I mean, they're definitely bickering. You know, it's not fun. It's definitely conflict. Can be just change in general, like, you know, or just the influence of a lot of people, you know. But it definitely hasn't been fun energy. And, you know, you've probably been feeling sad, you know, maybe about this. But I do think that things have been changing. And you're either creating this tower, or if you're not creating this tower and this tower is coming in, it's coming in to really change this, okay? To get rid of the conflict, to get rid of the sadness, okay? And to make you feel this way. Okay, look how like he's happy as he can be. You know, like I don't know, he's content. He has some kind of green stuff in his hair. I don't know what they are. Leaves. Okay. And so, what is the guidance or kind of like the answer to any kind of decision? Okay, who's the hangman? Okay, so this was the question of the two swords, or the answer is the hangman. Tower. Weird, right? When I said tower, my video stopped. I don't even know why. Okay, so if you've been having any kind of indecision or something like that, or something that hasn't been, that's been stopping you from moving forward, okay, the answer is either just to wait, you know, like wait a little bit longer, see what happens. Maybe something surprising will happen, maybe shocking, but it might make you feel good, might end this conflict, okay? Or it's about having another perspective. So cut out again, as I was clarifying the tower. And so, okay, because I clarified the tower, which I should have just done at the beginning, okay, hopefully this actually made sense and you stayed this long because I can sum it up. Okay, look what came out when I clarified the tower. All right. Okay, well, that didn't come out. That's the King of Pentacles. Okay. But this came out. I picked up the wrong cards. Okay. I'm going to sum this up first. Okay. So, this whole situation, especially during the retrograde, is that, like, it feels like you potentially that you haven't been able to like move forward. And yes, I do think the answer is to wait a little bit longer, like have some more patience. It might seem like you've already waited so long. I talked about this in another reading where it's like, if you wait there too long, the you know the blood rushes to your head kind of thing. So like maybe you're already feeling like it's like, oh my God, I'm getting this. Like, how can I do this? Like, there's been a lot of loss, a lot of changes, like you can kind of see, this opportunity, this partnership, but you're not really seeing it. And there's a lot of conflict around you, but like you are starting to get your confidence. You're starting to like move forward with like maybe business or something like that. Okay. And this higher self. Okay. And with the message, okay, being the tower is that there is going to be some good news coming in. So wait for it. Okay. Because now, granted, okay, this could be you. Like maybe, okay, if you know that you need to create some kind of tower to, like give some news to somebody that could like change their life, for example, that could be, you're being guided being told to do this, okay? Or if it's, and it's kind of like have a new perspective about that, like making this change, But if you're the one who, just needs to wait a little bit, have a little bit more patience, okay? There is a new beginning, okay? I keep picking up the wrong one, but it doesn't matter. Like maybe that was the thing, but like this conflict, okay? Maybe there'll be a lot of people coming in, maybe a lot of people kind of fighting for your attention, maybe, okay? But what actually came, okay, there it is. Okay, so it came out Fool. So this is the beginning of like a whole new cycle, or it can be about taking a risk, like, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, these are again both major arcana. The Tower is major arcana, major change. This is major like perspective, kind of thing, or like a divinely or like a universal halt, okay, for something that's going to be amazing. It's kind of like just wait for it. It's going to be worth the wait, whatever this is. Like, I mean, if it's something about business, okay, it's like, it's going to be great, okay? Like, let's take it back to what I was originally saying. Okay, like maybe you have to like fire somebody, for example. It's like, but it's gonna lead to forward movement. Okay, it's gonna lead to a new cycle. Okay, with a lot of luck, a lot of fortune. Like a lot of movement. Okay, we have the Six of Cups here too. Okay, that is about nostalgia. That is about friendship. That is about, thinking about the past. It could be about somebody from their past. It can be offering something to another. It's about that sweetness, that innocence. Okay, and then we have Chariot. This is another major arcana as well. Okay, that's balancing the yin and the yang. Okay, that is moving forward, like successfully after battle. Okay, like, I mean, the Six of Wands comes out in a lot of other like readings, and that's about, again, coming home from after, battle. But it's from the little petty conflict, you know. I don't know where it is. Okay, the Five of Wands, how everyone's just kind of like, you know, like if it's a work situation, everyone's just disorganized, there's no real leadership or something like that, right? And then you have to shake it up, do something new, try something new, take a risk in order to create the change, and maybe it's something with the past or going back to the past, but moving forward. Okay, but this is like after like a big battle kind of thing. Like, or, it may not have to be a battle, but I mean, this is movement. It can represent actual, like, moving, and so it's like maybe by taking a risk, to move, you know, going back to your past, this can, represent your home, maybe, or your family kind of thing, or, going somewhere back to childhood. It's like it's creating this change, this luck. Okay, that's gonna be great. So it's just like wait for it. In the meantime, just focus on yourself or whatever kind of thing. If you need to create this change, be the boss. Step in your power. Because I mean, like, you need to do what's right for your business. Before there's a tower that you can't control. But anyways, I do believe that there's some good things happening, like whatever this is regarding. Like, I don't know, what this kind of changes, but I do think, or what this indecision was. But I mean, like, if, the last 4 months or so, or, May, like, things have been, feeling kind of slow. I think they're going to speed up, like, pretty quickly, there's going to be something shocking, something new, some kind of change. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's way too many. There's way too many cards. But there's, what's the takeaway message we can give Pisces? Eight of Pentacles. So it could be about work. Maybe it'll be some job opportunity. Especially if like, okay, you lost your job at some point in time, like, but it's like there was a reason for this. In the sense of to give you something better, so it's like it's time for change. It's time for, like, and maybe there was just too much conflict around you in other kind of situations, or, and again, like, Five of Wands can be competition, so maybe like, there might be a lot of competition for you, either for your, like, for your, services, or for, to hire you, or, whatever this might be. Okay. Anyways, I do say if things have been tough, things are going to change, and you're heading to, I do say anticipate some good news after some tough times. Okay, but you've had the strength. Okay, you tame that lion, whatever that might be. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. I don't know if it made any sense.